All right, so today we're just talking about discussion essays, what they are, why we need to do them, how to do them. All right, so a discussion essay is basically arguing both sides of a topic. Okay, so they show that you've carefully considered all the information, thought about it from all angles, and you've reached a conclusion, a decision based on all the evidence, and it can be a really effective tool of persuasion because of that. Because you rebut the arguments, you already counter, you already basically argue against what other people might say before they get to say them, so it can be really effective. So discussion essays, make sure you give both sides of an issue, and then you give your overall opinion in the conclusion. Although you have usually formed your opinion before you start writing, you don't show that until the conclusion, okay? You leave it until the end. So you're showing to your reader that you've weighed up all the arguments, okay? You do need to clearly state your opinion in the conclusion, okay? Don't say, I think, but just sum it up. Just show how one side outweighs the other. The evidence for one side shows that, this is what I think. Some discussion essay questions are not so much arguments for and against kind. They might be issues around, okay? For example, discuss the significance of body image in modern society. That's not really arguing for body image or against body image, but we're just talking about the issues that surround the significance, the emphasis that we place on a perfect body in modern society. Okay, so you're just looking at it from all different angles and looking at the issues that it causes. The word discuss is used in all different ways, so always check what your teacher wants from that essay. They might be different in different topics, in different subjects. So discussion essays are mostly used in English and history or HASS, and economics when we get to that in HASS, rather than in other subjects. So how to set one out. So imagine you've got the essay topic of books as we know them will disappear. Discuss. Here is one way that you could set it out. So you could have the argument for. And their argument for in this example is that increasing use of internet for researching information is going to lead to books disappearing. The argument against is that internet has its disadvantages. And the difficulty and unreliability of information. The second argument against is that books commonly are used for enjoyment. They're not just used for research. So books won't disappear because we like to read them. Argument for, paper goods are not good for the environment. So as we impact more and more on the environment and it leads to greater deforestation, then maybe books will disappear. And this person's overall opinion was, we will use books less, but they will not disappear. So you can set them out as they have, where you've got arguments for, argument against, and arguments for. And the way they might have done that, the reason they might have done that, is because that's a good way to link it. So argument for, increasing the use of information that you can get from the internet, whereas internet also has its disadvantages, so you can link that statement right together. And books are used for enjoyment, but they're also not good for the environment. So they can use their cohesion, their connective statements, their connective text connectives, to run those two together and link them and create good linking linking sentences between the paragraphs to make it flow. You can also set them out as argument for, second argument for, argument against, and second argument against. And this is your turn. So you're going to create some arguments for, and then give your arguments against, and then give your overall opinion. So I've done an example here. The essay question is up the top here. Progress always benefits mankind. Okay? So the argument for is progress in medicine leads to a better way of life. The second argument for is that progress in technology makes life easier. Note how I'm using the words from the question there. Progress. Okay? Argument against. Some technologies, and now I'm just mixing up the words, using synonyms so that I don't have progress all the time, all the way through it. I'm using a synonym here. So some technologies have impacted on pollution and destroyed the ozone layer or caused cancers. So that's an argument against how it doesn't benefit mankind. And the second argument against is it can lead to the loss of jobs as some things are automated. So that's not benefiting mankind. My overall opinion is that on the whole, technology does and progress does benefit mankind. However, the benefits come at a cost for some people. Your job is I want you to come up with arguments for these two questions over here. So TV violence leads to viewer violence, and we should all speak English. You're to come up with an argument for, second argument for, argument against, second argument against, and your overall opinion. All right. Thank you very much.